This video was made possible by the EA Creator Network. Hi everyone, it's Chrissie and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build and welcome back to another early access video for the Sims 4 My Wedding Stories. So yeah, this will probably be our last early access video before the pack actually comes out on the 23rd. So if you're watching this the day it goes out, the pack will actually be out tomorrow for everyone. So yeah, this will probably be our last early access video. But yeah, because it is still early access, I do still want to mention that the software that you're currently seeing, so the game as I had it, wasn't the final software of the pack, and it is subject to change, and yeah, it's also a little bit more buggy than the final product will be that you guys will be like able to buy, obviously, that will be released to the public. So yeah, if you see any bugs or anything like that, if anything like kind of seems a little bit off, then that would be why. And yeah, the Sims team already is aware of a bunch of different gameplay bugs and all of that stuff, and they're actually working on fixing it. I already know of like a really big list of things that will be fixed in the like actual release version that was a little bit broken and buggy in our version, like the game changes like early version. So yeah, definitely keep an eye out for that, and yeah, just keep that in mind. If you see any like super buggy gameplay or anything like that, then yeah, chances are all of those things will be fixed in the released version. But yeah, so back to this build. Like I said, this is our last early access video. And yeah, it's probably going to be the not last build I do in Tartosa, obviously, because I'm still obsessed with the world. But I think our next build is going to be in another world, just so that I don't get burnt out on doing these more like Mediterranean kind of styles, just so that I can build something in a little bit of a different style for a change, and also so that you guys aren't like completely overwhelmed with all of the Tartosa builds and like all of these builds in kind of the same style. So yeah, that's probably going to be our next build, but this build is actually a cute little like honeymoon villa type thing. So yeah, this is the like smaller build that I was talking about wanting to do in I think both of my previous videos. So yeah, I believe the previous video that we did was the really big like vacation, Tuscan vacation villa. And I'll leave that linked on the screen in case you haven't seen it yet. But in that video, I know I mentioned that I wanted to do a smaller build, and that build was actually supposed to be a just specifically like honeymoon type of build. So only have space for like 1 or 2 Sims, be a little bit more romantic, all of that kind of stuff. And then it kind of got away from me and like ended up being way bigger than I originally planned for it to be. So yeah, that ended up being like a big family vacation home. But this one is actually just for 2 Sims. So there's 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. There's a really big kitchen and dining area with a bar and everything. There's also a really big like living space that's in that kind of like almost open air bit with the archways and the really big like open windows. That actually ends up being the living room. And then yeah, they also have a really nice outdoor space as well. So yeah, I really love the way this build turned out. I actually spent 3 hours on this, if you can believe it. I mean, I don't know how I spent 3 hours on a 20 by 20 lot and on like a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom build. So yeah, I don't know how it took me that long, but it did. So that's why this video is definitely a little bit longer than a regular like 20 by 20 build like lot would have taken me. But yeah, I think it's because I added a lot of detail. I did end up adding a lot of different details. I didn't go too overboard with clutter or like personalization or anything like that, just because I did think that it would be a rental home, it would be a vacation home, and not somewhere where your Sims would live like all year round. Obviously, if you wanted to do that, then you totally could. You could totally put this down and have your Sims live here like all year round if that's something that you wanted to do. But yeah, it's just not how I envisioned the lot working in my game, if I ever end up playing with it, if that makes sense. It's not like the vision I had in my head when I built it. So yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. Same with any of my builds though, you don't necessarily have to use them for like the exact family that I had in mind, or for the exact purpose that I had in mind when I built it. You're obviously free to use them however you want. You can like change up the bedrooms, change up the furnishing, change up whatever you want to change up if you want to play with them. So yeah, that's just definitely something I wanted to mention. But yeah, so back to this build. Like I said, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. It's on a 20 by 20 lot. It's actually still in the Porto Luminoso area of Tartosa. This is like the 3rd build that I've done in this area of the world. I actually haven't built in the other area of the world yet, and I think after our next build that I'm trying to do in another world, if that makes sense, then I'm gonna go back to Tartosa and build something in the other neighborhood, because I do have ideas for stuff that I want to build in that area of the world. I just haven't gotten around to it because a lot of those ideas are like big builds that will take me probably multiple days to finish. So yeah, I need a little bit of time for those builds. So yeah, that's going to be in a little bit of a while, I guess. But yeah, so we're still building in the Porto Luminoso area. It's on a 20 by 20 lot. It's actually the smallest lot that we have in this world is this one. And this one is actually the one on the private island. And originally, if you buy the pack and in the original save, or like, yeah, basically if you buy the pack, the original lot that will be on this like lot is a starter home that I actually don't know who built it. I don't know which one of the game changers built this particular lot, like the original one. But I know like the Sims team basically worked with 4 different game changers to build all of the lots for Tartosa. And they also built a couple, I think 5 different wedding venues that are actually on the gallery that you can download and place down either in Tartosa or in another world if you want some different wedding venues. But yeah, I know they built all of the lots in the world. I just don't know who in particular built this one. But it was a really, really cute kind of like Grecian, like white and blue little starter home. And it was really, really super cute. Probably one of the prettiest starter homes I've ever seen in the game. But it kind of felt a little bit like out of place to me personally, having literally like a private island. The only connection to this island is from a bridge. That's basically, there's no other reason for anyone to use the bridge other than getting to this tiny little private island. So yeah, having a private island with a starter home on it kind of felt really weird to me, because in my head I associate private islands with like being really, really rich. It would be really expensive to live on your own private island. So yeah, I think in my save file, when I get around to working on Tartosa, whenever that might be, I am probably going to put a rental lot on this particular lot. I don't think I'm going to have anyone living here. I think I'm going to use it as a rental, like as a vacation house, because it just makes the most sense to me. It makes sense that, you know, you're going on vacation to a nice Mediterranean place and you rent out a whole private island, because why not? It's The Sims and you can totally do that. So I don't know if I'm going to be using this particular lot for my save file or not. If I do end up using it for my save file, then I'll probably update the like video title eventually once I decide. But yeah, I'll update the video title and I'll add it to like the correct playlist and all of that stuff. But yeah, I don't know if I want to use this build or if I want to build something completely different once I have, you know, had a little bit more time with the pack, and once I have maybe like some new ideas or whatever. But yeah, that's just something that I'm thinking about for like way down the road. It's not something that I'm going to be starting work on anytime soon. Currently, I'm still focused on just getting the first version of my save file done, which is Willow Creek and Oasis Springs. So yeah, that's something that I'll be getting back to once the whole like, I guess, wedding stories hype, I guess I could say, has died down a little bit. And once I've gotten all of the like more Mediterranean and vacation wedding builds out of my system, then I'll go back and I'll finish the last 2 lots that I have to do for like the first version. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to like getting that done and getting the first version out to you guys, because I know a lot of you have asked me, you know, when is the save file coming and if I'm working on it still, or you know, all of that kind of stuff. And yes, I'm still working on it. It has taken me quite a few years to get this far, but it's just because I'm a total perfectionist and I'm also really indecisive. So yeah, it takes me a while to settle on something that I actually like and that I don't just want to change in like 3 months time. So yeah, it's taken me a while. But anyway, back to this build. We're currently working on the kitchen. And yeah, like I said, the kitchen is pretty big. There's more than enough like counter space for your Sims to cook together if that's something that you wanted to do. I also decided to use a ton of the Jungle Adventures pack. I think I've used a ton of Jungle Adventures in, I think, all 3 of the builds that I've done so far with the new pack. It really just goes really well with all of the new items that we got. So yeah, Jungle Adventures, Island Living. I think there was a couple of other packs that also go really well with this. Yeah, Jungle Adventure, Island Living, the Oasis Courtyard, the Courtyard Oasis kit goes really well with the new game pack as well. And then I think that the Paranormal Stuff pack, the colors of the items in the Paranormal Stuff pack also goes really well with all of the new items that we got. But yeah, there's just a bunch of different things that actually works really well with this style, surprisingly. A lot of the like base game items and even a lot of the like windows and doors and stuff that we got with like Cottage Living and Get Together, the wood tones and all of that stuff actually also end up really matching very well with all of the new items that we got. And like the wood tones and stuff all end up matching at like somehow. If you play around with it enough, you can actually find a lot of like matching colors and all of that stuff, which is great. So yeah, if you have all of the packs, then you definitely have a lot of options, I guess I could say, for like matching stuff and finding stuff that works together and just having fun with a bunch of different styles. But yeah, I haven't done a base game and wedding stories only build yet. I don't know if that's something that you guys would be interested in seeing. Maybe doing like, I don't know. The pack doesn't really have a lot of like regular furniture, like day-to-day furniture. So if I ended up building a house or a residential lot, then like 90% of the build would be just base game. Because there's not really any like, I guess, day-to-day furniture. So there's one couch, but it's only a 2-seater, and the color swatches for the couch isn't really all that versatile. And there's no like living chairs. There's a couple of dining chairs and like 2 dining tables, but there's no kitchen counters or like bathroom stuff or even like bedroom stuff or anything. So yeah, if I did end up doing a base game and wedding stories only like build, it probably wouldn't be a residential lot or even a rental lot, because yeah, it would basically just be a base game build with a couple of decorative My Wedding Stories, like decorative pieces in the build. So yeah, I don't really think that would be worth it. But maybe doing like a base game and wedding stories wedding venue could be fun. I think that's something that I could probably do quite easily, because there's a lot of wedding stuff obviously in this pack, and yeah, a lot of the styles and stuff I think could work well with a couple of the base game things that we already have. So maybe doing it in like Newcrest or something, or maybe Oasis Springs, because it kind of fits with the Mediterranean vibe. Although I should probably stop doing Mediterranean builds because you guys are probably sick of them at this point. But yeah, maybe I'll do something like Willow Creek or Newcrest or something and go for a totally different style wedding venue than the like Mediterranean one that I've already done and the ones that I will probably still end up doing at some point. So yeah, maybe I'll do that. If that's something that you guys would be interested in like a base game and game pack only build, then yeah, definitely let me know down in the comments. And if you think it should be a wedding venue would probably be the most practical for like a build like this with just those 2 like packs. And it also, like, it would make sense to build a wedding venue with it, and it would probably also be the easiest build to do with the new pack and just the base game, because yeah, the base game itself doesn't really have a lot of options. So yeah, having like just the base game and this pack, it probably also wouldn't leave me a lot of like wiggle room for styles. So it will probably end up being either a Mediterranean build, which I really don't want to do just as base game and the pack, because I already have done a lot of Mediterranean builds and I'm still planning a lot of them. So I don't want you to get like super sick of seeing Mediterranean builds, but maybe doing something in a little bit more of a, I don't know, maybe like a Victorian style, or I don't know, maybe like a really cute little chapel or something in Newcrest could be fun. Or I don't know, I still want to build like a really big chapel or monastery type thing here in the new world of Tartosa, and I'll probably do that at some point. I don't know when, because it will definitely end up being like a really big and long build, but I still want to do it at some point. And not because I'm religious or anything like that, I'll probably mention it in that video as well. I don't want to build a chapel wedding venue because I think everyone needs to get married in a chapel or whatever, but just because I really like the architecture. I love the architecture of like old churches and chapels and monasteries and stuff. I love looking at them, and just I love like looking at that old architecture and seeing how they were built and like all of the symbolism behind a lot of the stuff. And yeah, I love that aspect of it. Like the history nerd in me really loves that aspect of like old churches and chapels and stuff. So yeah, that's the only reason I really want to build one, because yeah, they're also very pretty. And they're very pretty if you build them like nicely. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, I'll do that eventually at some point. But yeah, back to this build. So I've completely managed to ramble through like most of this voiceover. But yeah, this build, we're actually almost done with it. We're just working on the exterior a little bit, and then we move on to the upstairs, which is the bedroom. So basically this build, like I said, has the really big open air kind of living room downstairs. Then it has the big like open plan kitchen and dining room. It has a bathroom on the first floor, and then you actually have a staircase on both the interior of the build and on the exterior. So I added the exterior staircase because it's something that you see a lot in these style of builds, or at least I saw it a lot in a lot of the pictures and stuff that I was taking inspiration from. So I saw the like exterior staircase a lot, but I didn't want to just add an exterior one because it's not super like, I guess it's not super convenient for gameplay if, you know, it's raining a lot or whatever and your Sims continually have to go outside to just get to the bedroom. So I also added an interior staircase on the inside by like the dining room. And then the upstairs is basically just a really big bedroom suite. So there's a bed, there's actually a TV in the bedroom rather than in the living room. And they also have this cute little like, I guess almost office kind of corner where they can read. They have a desk with a computer, and they also have 2 lounge chairs outside on the balcony as well. And then the front yard basically just has a little patio, a grill, a table, some chairs, yeah, all of the regular stuff. And then I also used the pergola from the pack and sized it down one to make it fit a little bit better. And then I put like a fire pit underneath it with some seating and all of that stuff. So yeah, it's kind of like fairly generic. It's something that I probably have done a million times before in some of my other builds, but yeah, I really liked the way it looked, and I kind of liked working with the space that I had. I didn't have like a super big yard or anything like that, so I didn't want to add a pool or anything because it also seemed a little bit weird as well, having a pool on a really tiny island. It's not like a big island, so it doesn't really make sense, because in your head you could think that, oh, they would just go and swim in the ocean. Like, why would I need to add a pool on this like already really small lot? So yeah, I didn't do that. But the Sims actually, as far as I know, they actually can't swim like around this island, which is really weird. But yeah, they can't swim in the water around the island, but the island is actually really close to one of the 2 like big beach areas, so they're actually close to somewhere where they can swim. And yeah, also something that I totally forgot to mention that I wanted to mention earlier in the video when I was doing the roofing for this build. But the roofing that I did for like both of the bump out bits, the parts that are on like half walls, it kind of looks like they're on half walls. That trick is actually something that I saw Freezer Bunny X doing in one of his early access videos. And I will leave a link down below to that video because it was also a small Tuscan kind of villa that was actually also built on this lot Obviously our builds do look completely different because obviously 2 different people built them. But yeah, that roof trick is something that I did see from them, so I will leave a link down below to that video. And yeah, definitely go and check it out. They're an absolutely amazing builder, and they're really good at recreating like real architecture styles and doing it really well. So yeah, definitely go ahead and check out their channel because yeah, like I said, they're absolutely amazing, and they're actually a fellow like game changer / EA creator, network creator. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this build. If you did, give the video a like, and if you're new to the channel and you'd like to see some more Sims content as well as some more early access content in the future, then definitely hit the subscribe button and remember to turn on the notification bell as well to be notified of whenever I upload a new video. But I hope you're all having a great day and a great week, and I'll talk to you in my very next video. Bye everyone.